Good afternoon everybody. Today's video is mainly about the reactions involving the alkoxybenzene and also some of the tests of ethers. Okay, the reason behind the substitution of ethers is because of the resonance structures of the canonical forms of the alkoxybenzene. These are the 5 canonical forms of the alkoxybenzene. By looking into the resonating structures, you can easily understand that the electron density is mainly on the ortho, the 2 ortho and the para position. Hence, alkoxybenzene is an ortho-para directing group. The substitution reactions will result in the formation of ortho and para products. Among the substitution reactions, first is bromination. If we take an aromatic ether like this and treat it with bromine in presence of activating catalyst like iron, then tri-substituted product will be obtained. But if the reaction is controlled by doing it in deactivating solvents such as CS2 or nitrobenzene, then ortho and para products will be obtained. This is bromination. The next reaction is nitration. If an ether like this is treated with mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid, ortho and para substituted products will be obtained. Okay, this ether is known as anisole. The next reaction is sulfonation. If an ether is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, then also ortho and para substituted products will be obtained. This reaction is known as sulfonation. The next reaction is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. If an ether like this is treated with methyl chloride in presence of anhydrous AlCl3, alkylation will occur at ortho as well as para positions. Okay, if instead of this alkyl chloride, if acetyl chloride is taken in presence of anhydrous AlCl3, then acylation will occur at ortho and para positions. And we will get the ortho and the para product. These are more or less the reactions of the alkoxybenzene. Okay, next I will come to the structure of the functional group. Okay, the ethereal oxygen having atomic number 8 has electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. Hence, the hybridization will be sp3 hybridization, and we will get 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. If I come to the structural hybridization, then these are the lone pairs, and the two singly filled orbital will overlap with the carbon of the alkyl groups, forming sigma bonds. This is a sigma bond and this is also a sigma bond. The carbon oxygen carbon bond angle will be 110 degree. Here the lone pair repulsion will be counterbalanced by the repulsion of the bulkier alkyl groups. As a result, the bond angle will be 110 degree. Okay. Next I will come to the dipole moment of this molecule. Oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. As a result, the CO bond is polar. This bond is polar because this will have a delta negative charge, that is a partial negative charge, and the carbon atoms will have partial positive charge. As a result, the CO bonds will be polar. As a result, we will have each CO bond will have a dipole moment acting towards oxygen. Since the geometry of this molecule is angular, so mutual cancellation of these two dipole moments will not be possible, even if these two alkyl groups are symmetrical. As a result, there will be a net dipole moment in this molecule. So, even if there are similar alkyl groups on both the sides of oxygen atom, that is, even if for a symmetrical ether molecule, the net dipole moment will be between 1.15 dBi to 1.3 dBi, even if for symmetrical ethers. Hence, ethers are polar molecules. Okay, the last in ethers chapter are the tests for ether. There are two significant tests. One is the Fagel's test. In Fagel's test, approximately 1 to 2 ml of the unknown compound is taken. It is taken in a boiling tube. There will be a boiling tube. The compound will be taken in a boiling tube. Like this. The mouth of the tube has to be covered by a filter paper. And the filter paper should be moistened with a mixture of cupric acetate and benzidine hydrochloride solution. If deep blue color appears in the also after keeping the filter paper, the heating tube, the boiling tube has to be heated till this boils. After that, if a deep blue color appears, then this unknown compound will be ether. This is a very important test for ether. Okay, there will be many other tests also for ethers, and this is a significant test. Okay, this is all about ethers. In the next video, I will start with haloalkanes and haloarenes. Thank you.